Welcome to Master English Listening. Learn English through stories. Once upon a time in a small town by the sea, there lived a young woman named Maria. She worked as a waitress in a local cafe, serving customers who spoke only Portuguese. Maria loved her job, but she often felt that something was missing. She dreamed of traveling, meeting people from other countries and learning about different cultures. One afternoon, a group of tourists entered the cafe. They were from the United States and they tried to speak to Maria in English. Maria felt nervous because she didn't speak English very well. She could understand a few words, but she couldn't answer their questions. The tourists smiled, but they seemed frustrated because they couldn't communicate with her. Maria felt embarrassed and wished she could speak English more confidently. Later that evening, as Maria walked home, she thought about the situation. "Why don't I know English?" she asked herself. "I need to learn. It's important." Maria made a decision that night. She would learn English no matter what it took. She didn't want to feel embarrassed again. The next day, Maria started looking for ways to improve her English. She found an online course and began practicing every day after work. At first it was difficult. She learned new words, but she struggled to remember them. However, she was determined to keep going. As the weeks passed, Maria began to notice improvements. She could understand more when people spoke to her in English, and she started to speak with more confidence. One day, Maria had an opportunity to practice her English again. A tourist entered the cafe and this time Maria was ready. The tourist smiled and asked, "Could I have a coffee, please?" Maria smiled back and replied in perfect English, "Of course. One coffee coming right up." The tourist looked surprised and happy. "Your English is great," he said. Maria felt proud of herself, and she knew she had made the right decision to learn the language. As Maria continued her English studies, she began to notice other changes in her life. She could understand movies and TV shows in English without subtitles, which made watching them even more fun. One day, Maria saw an advertisement for a job at an international hotel in the city. The hotel was looking for people who spoke English, and Maria knew this was a great opportunity. She applied for the job and was invited to an interview. During the interview, she spoke confidently in English, answering all the questions without hesitation. A few days later, Maria received the call she had been waiting for. She had been hired. The hotel offered her a position as a receptionist and she was thrilled. Her new job allowed her to meet people from all over the world. She made friends from different countries and she even practiced her English with guests at the hotel. Maria realized that learning English had opened many doors for her. She was no longer limited by language and she felt more connected to the world. One afternoon, while working at the hotel, Maria met a man named John. He was from the United Kingdom and was staying at the hotel for a business trip. John was impressed by Maria's English skills. They started talking and before long they discovered they had a lot in common. They became friends and began meeting outside of work. They talked about their dreams, their hobbies, and their love for traveling. John told Maria that he often traveled for work and would visit different countries. He said, "If you learn more English, you could travel with me one day. It's a great way to see the world." Maria was excited by the idea. She knew that by continuing to improve her English, she could make her dream of traveling come true. A few months later, John invited Maria to join him on a business trip to London. Maria was nervous but excited. This was her chance to see the world and practice her English. In London, Maria was amazed by how much she could understand. She could talk to locals in English and even ask for directions when she got lost. He felt more confident than ever. Maria realized that learning English had not only helped her get a better job, but it had also opened up a world of new experiences. She could now travel, meet new people, and follow her dreams. As the trip came to an end, Maria thought about everything she had achieved. She was proud of how far she had come, and she knew she would continue to improve her English. When Maria returned to her hometown, she shared her experience with her friends and family. "Learning English has changed my life," she told them. "It opened doors to new opportunities, and I feel more confident than ever." Maria's story inspired others in her town to start learning English. They saw how much she had grown and they wanted to do the same. From that day on, Maria became a teacher of sorts. She helped her friends practice English, sharing the tips and techniques that had worked for her. She told them, "If I can learn English, so can you." It may be hard at first, but every small step counts. And before you know it, you'll be speaking with confidence. Over time, Maria became known as the person who helped others learn English. Her story of determination and success inspired many people to start their own language learning journeys. Maria's life was no longer the same. She had not only learned a new language but had also gained the courage to chase her dreams and help others do the same. She realized that learning English was more than just a skill. It was a key to unlocking new possibilities in life. And that key had changed her world forever.